Hi, this is Peter Davies from Jigsaw Trading. This is a video I've been meaning to do for a long time, and the target is new traders, but also traders who perhaps feel they're not getting anywhere with their trading. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because, generally speaking, when retail traders get into trading, they pick up books, they look on websites, and they look for techniques to tell them when to buy or when to sell. And they look at those techniques without really thinking about whether those techniques make some presumptions about what the markets are and what kind of skill or what kind of endeavor day trading actually is. Now, before we get into the meat of it, what I'd like to say is that when I talk about trading in this video, I'm talking about the sort of day trading that most retail traders engage in. And that is directional trading, where you buy at one price, sell at another price, and hope to make a profit all in one instrument. So what I'm not talking about is spread trading. And in spread trading, you'll simultaneously buy two separate instruments or the same instrument across different expiries, looking to make money from the relationship between those instruments. So we're not talking about that kind of trading today, because there is a difference. So what is trading? So when we talk about what is trading, I'm going to give you three options. So the first option to the question what is trading is trading a competition. So like a game of chess or judo or running a race is trading a competitive endeavor. The second option I'm going to give you is trading a skill, a bit like playing an instrument where you have to put in a lot of practice to get good at it. Or is trading a problem with a solution. So something like a maths problem or a physics problem where you've got to work out the solution, and once you've got the solution, then you know how to trade. Well, those are kind of three different options, and we'll investigate those. But first of all, what we need to consider is, do you yourself have any preconceived ideas or preferences as to what trading is or what you'd like it to be? So for instance, I can tell you that most retail traders, certainly ones that are on the internet forums, would love trading to be a problem with a solution. Because if trading is a problem with a solution, you'd spend time figuring out what the solution was, and then you would just apply that solution over and over again without any real thought, because all of the thought went into figuring out the solution in the first place. So that is the most popular answer. That is the most popular viewpoint of what trading is. That's where people focus. And that's what people prefer. Because basically we do all the work up front, and then it's done, and then we can just trade without thinking about it too much. Now, in terms of trading being a skill, well, most people would be fairly happy with trading being a skill. Not as happy as trading being a problem with a solution. But yeah, sure, if trading is a skill, then it means that we have to learn to trade, and we have to practice, and after practice we get good at it, and that's quite fine with most people. Now, the one that people like the least is the thought of trading being a competition, a duel, or a battle. That's kind of the least savory option, because really nobody wants to see themselves battling the market day in, day out. Okay, so those are the three options. Now, you're going to have your preference. I've got my preferences. Okay, but I think we can agree that trading is what it is. Trading is not going to change based on your preference or your preconceptions. Now, this bucket is my representation of the markets. Okay, so let's just think for a second that that bucket is the market. And it doesn't really matter if we're talking about stock market, futures market, forex. They're all pretty much the same in the way they work. Fact is, the first thing that happens is money goes into the markets. Now, the markets can't create money. So whenever you take money from the markets, somebody has had to put that money in. So we trade, we put money into the markets, and then out of that money that goes into the market, some of it goes to your broker. Now, that might be in the form of a fee, per trade fee. It might be in the form of a spread. Okay? For instruments that trade on an exchange, be a centralized exchange or multiple exchanges like NASDAQ, the exchanges don't work for free, and they obviously put a charge in as well. Now, for your brokers and your exchanges, It's not just those guys that are taking the money. The money that goes to them actually goes on to pay their secretaries, to pay for their cars. It goes to pay for advertising on places like CNBC and Bloomberg. So there's a huge industry. If you look at all the magazines, the TV stations, the websites, the trading platforms, all of that, there's a huge industry built around trading. And part of, that industry is getting paid for by your trades. Okay. Now, obviously, there's some money you spend before you even put money in the bucket. And obviously, if you've got a trading platform, you have to pay for that every month. If you listen to a news feed, you pay for that every month. So there's other charges that occur before you actually put money in the bucket. And then finally, we have the winning traders. Okay, so money goes into the market. The winning traders effectively take what's left after the exchanges and after the brokerages have taken their cut. So if you looked at the market like a casino, the brokerages and the exchanges would be the house, and we'd all be the punters. Now, as we said, the markets can't create money. Okay, so only money that went in could come out. And obviously, everybody that trades wants to take out more money than they put in. Okay, that's the whole point. So with a finite amount of money, and only the money that we put in we can take out, the markets and trading actually starts to look very much like it's a competition. You against other traders all battling for that same bucket of money. So let's look again, with that in mind, and consider the nature of trading. So many, if not most new traders, especially those with an engineering background, really want trading to be a problem with a solution. And the fact is there are a lot of numbers in trading. So if you look at a price chart, you're going to see a series of numbers. There's going to be open, high, low, close, volume that all occur over a specific period. An engineer will gravitate towards those numbers, looking for a way to crunch them in order to find a solution to trading. And once that solution is created, the system could be traded manually, or even a computer program created to trade it for them. And there's a huge industry based around this idea of what trading is. So if you look at platforms like TradeStation, NinjaTrader, a lot of the platform is based around the ability to write mathematical models of the market, backtest them, and then automatically trade them. The thing is, though, how many people do you think are actually successful doing that? Because I can tell you, in terms of arbitrage trading, yes, I do know people that have automated arbitrage trading and make money from that, which is spread trading across multiple instruments. In terms of directional trading, the kind of trading that day trading does, I've yet to meet a single person that has successfully managed to write a computer model to day trade for them. Now, if we look at the other two, competition and skill, they go hand in hand. You can't win a competition unless you're skilled. Okay, you don't try javelin for the first time and win the Olympics. So the nature of competition and skill is that you're not going to be very good at it when you first try it. Okay, in fact, you should be really, really bad unless you're just naturally gifted. And that's where we get to a point. If you approach trading as a problem with a solution, then the chances are you're going to try something for a very short period of time, maybe even backtest it, and then decide it doesn't work. Then you'll go to the next thing, or try an adjustment, retest, adjust again, retest, and so on and so forth. Now, I know traders that have been taking this approach for more than 10 years, and they're still no closer to a solution. Okay? And many of them have committed a huge amount of time to this approach, and they won't stop now because of the amount of time they've already invested in trying to make that approach work. Now, on the other hand, the traders that take the competition skill approach have got an issue, and it's a sticky issue, because if you know that you'll be bad at something new, then you're going to be equally as bad with a valid trading approach as an invalid one. So somehow you need to take a leap of faith with a method. You need to develop a valid skill. And the problem with trading education marketplace, it's so full of snake oil salesmen that it's really down to pure luck whether you could find somebody that can actually teach you how to trade or give you valid information on trading. Okay, so let's put approach to one side for a minute. You've got some food for thought now on what trading might be. Now, most people are going to relate to this guy on the left. He's not sure about the markets. He doesn't really know where to buy or sell. And once he does, he doesn't really know where to exit his trades. It doesn't matter what techniques he's learnt so far. It feels like he doesn't really have something to rely on. Now, in turn, this guy sees professional traders a bit like this. You know, very confident guys who know exactly what is happening and why. After all, they are the pros, right? Now, this perception could not be further from the truth because nobody knows where the markets will go next. Those professional traders are going to work off one of the following. Either the belief that the market is more likely to go one way than the other, or the belief that a move in one direction will be more powerful than a move in the other direction. So they might be wrong about the direction more than half the time, but they make money from the size of the moves. And you're not going to find a professional day trader that tells you that they know where the market is going. They can only tell you what they think the market might do. So they're trading off the suspicion of what might happen, and they're going to get out when they're proven wrong. And that is exactly what trading is all about. And most retail traders spend their time looking for certainty, partly because that's their perception of professional trading. And that's why so much time is spent by retail traders trying to develop these computer models that attempt to predict where the market is heading. There is a belief that certainty exists in trading, and that's what they look for, and that is why most traders fail. In fact, this is how you should view all of the people day trading your specific market. Now, the irony is that many traders see themselves as an uncertain trader, but they see the market as something rational that can be analyzed mathematically and solved. But the fact is, the market consists of nothing but uncertain traders who are all trying to guess what other traders are about to do. Okay, so if all this sounds a bit gloomy, let's just go over a few points. First of all, it is possible to make money trading. But if your goal is certainty, you will never get to the point where you place a live trade. So you need to embrace the uncertainty of trading. Instead of working on the basis of what you want the market to be, figure out what the market really is and work on the basis of what the market really is. With the above in mind, now it's time to figure out what your approach is and how you hone your trading skills. And that will be the point at which you make dramatic strides forward in your trading, because now you have an understanding of what trading really is. And with that in mind, now you can make a plan for how do you develop the skills to make money at this game. So let's say you've embraced the uncertainty and you believe that trading is a skill or a competition. Like all skills, you're going to improve by repetition. And one of the things that you need to consider is the horizon. Now, swing traders are going to hold positions for multiple days. Position traders try to hold positions for multiple hours. And scalping is very short-term trading. Scalpers will be in and out of the market often in seconds. Now, of course, these three definitions aren't fixed, and there's people trading all durations in between. But we need to consider which is the best trading horizon. Well, actually, perhaps none of them is best in the long term, and I certainly don't claim to know which one is best or to have studied that. I personally put myself somewhere between a scalper and a position day trader. But instead of thinking of one approach as better, let's perhaps think of it in terms of developing a skill. Now, as a position day trader, you need to know your market and you need to know how days tend to play out. For me, before the market opens, I have a few different scenarios I think will play out, and then I actually publish those publicly for everybody to see. I then try and understand, as the day unfolds, which scenario is playing out, and I attempt to capitalize on that. Now, from a skills development viewpoint, learning this skill takes a long time. You need to see a lot of days play out before you can really start to understand how things work. And you need to do this over different periods as well, because the market switches gear at certain times of the year. Now, there is only one day per day. So the maximum amount of days you can experience per day is one. So with focus, about a year should have you confident in the way days play out and being able to do the kind of analysis that I publish on a daily basis. It's only 365 days. It's not a huge sample, but it's enough to get confidence in the way things work. Now, if you focused on shorter term trading, What happens if instead of an approach that gives you 1 or 2 opportunities a day, how about one that gives you 1 or 2 opportunities an hour? Or even 1 or 2 opportunities a minute? Now this is the reason that most prop shops have their intern traders focus on scalping. It's very short-term trading, but it's going to give you the most trading experience over the shortest period of time. It does not mean the prop traders have to stick with scalping forever. It just means it's a very sensible entry point for a new trader. Now what you could do is scalp the market whilst also getting experience in how days play out. That would be a solid plan, both in terms of getting profitable quickly, but also developing some more longer term trading skills as you go. So this is just food for thought. If trading is a skill, you need to figure out how much time it will realistically take to become skilled through practical application. And the more practice you can do per day, the faster you're going to develop as a trader. And finally, probably the biggest thing that new traders fall foul to is their own goals. Now, is your aspiration as a trader to make a living from trading or to become the best trader that ever lived? Now, most people that I know would be happy to make a living trading, yet they also set goals that would actually make them the best trader on the earth. Now, chatting to brokers, they tell me the average size account opened by retail traders is about $5,000. The traders absolutely believe that once they become skilled, they will be able to grow this $5,000 account to the point where they can live off their trading earnings. And that leads to a disease I call massive targetitis. With a $5,000 account and the need to earn $500 a day on the market I trade, the mini S&P 500 futures, you would need to capture roughly 10 points of movement a day after you take out your losing trades. Now, I have never met a trader that could do that day in, day out. Some days that would actually be more than the daily range. You'd actually have to take massive risks to get that, and just the nature of taking those massive risks, you would blow up the 5,000 account in no time at all. Now, of course, you could have a 20,000 or a 30,000 account and tell yourself that you only need to make 100% a year. But again, look how many fund managers are actually making 100% a year. The problem is, you're setting your goals before you learn how to trade and look about what you can realistically take. The goal is defining how good a day trader you need to be. Now this is totally backwards. How good a day trader you can be should define your goals. Now if you want to succeed, you should just have one goal, and that's to become a consistently profitable day trader. Now of course, nobody's saying that you can't live off your trading income. The problem is that most retail traders can't look beyond their own trading account. They can't possibly imagine that somebody would give them money to trade. But the reality is, if you trade consistently and build a track record, you'll most likely be getting a call from your broker asking if you'd be interested in trading their customer funds. You could register as a CTA. You could go to a prop shop with your statements. There's a lot of options open to you if you have a consistent track record. The fact is, there's a lot of money out there looking for a return, and if you can show you've made good returns while keeping risk in check, getting funded is not as difficult as you might think it is. So don't focus on the money going into your pocket. Focus on getting consistency, low risk, and decent returns. And that's all I have for you. I hope I gave you some new perspectives on trading, gave you some food for thought, maybe review some of the things that you're actually doing in trading and wonder if they're based on some presumptions that you've made that might not necessarily be true. If anybody likes to email me or Skype me and have a chat about this, it's pretty lonely trading up here in my office, so I always welcome traders to come and chat. Good luck with your trading, and goodbye.